In 2016, I organized a 1,400-mile motorcycle rally deep into Mexico. I called it the Rundown. In 2020, I decided to repeat that ride with two buddies, all three of us riding our ginormous adventure bikes. This is our story. Today's destination was the town of Xilitla down in the Huasteca region of Mexico. To get there, our first task of the day was to ride this great dirt road that I'd done before. Our plan was to ride south on that dirt down to Gallos Grandes, then turn west, go over the mountains, out to the desert, and then continue south on pavement. What I forgot was the Laguna came before Gallos Grandes. I was thinking it came after Gallos Grandes, and that mistake turned into a bit of a challenge, as you'll see later on. So here we go, but first, got to grab some gas and breakfast.
Good morning, Richard. Where's Happy Bobby? Happy Bobby, come out and play.
Happy Bobby, happy Bobby. Happy Bobby, happy Bobby.
Temperatures were cool, the day was partly cloudy, pavement was great. We were really looking forward to riding today. We turned off on the dirt road. It was just as I remembered. This great dirt road running down a valley. Beautiful, beautiful area. There's a few communities that you'll pass along the way. Just generally really fun, enjoyable dirt riding. Nothing too hard for our adventure bikes.
This guy's got a great rock wall up here. It's a wonderful rock wall. What is this?
If you've been paying attention, you've seen a few water puddles as we were driving south. Well, apparently there's been rain overnight, and if there's one thing big bikes aren't fun to ride in, and that's mud. And the further south we went, the muddier it got. I hate riding in the mud, even on a small bike. I certainly don't want to do it on a great big ginormous adventure bike.
Wow, this is great. Got a mama and a baby horse up here. Colt. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? What is this? What is this?
After 45 minutes to an hour of slip sliding and huffing and puffing our way through the mud, we arrived at Laguna Escondida. And this is when I realized my error, that the Laguna was before Gallos Grandes, not after the way I thought. Now, it's not hard getting around the Laguna. It's not bad. It's two-track, as you can see here. But on the other side of it, I knew there was a steep, rocky section that was going to be a bear on the big adventure bikes. Even if it was dry, it was going to be difficult. I wasn't sure how muddy it would be when we got there. Certainly wasn't looking forward to it. My riding companions let me know they weren't all that enthusiastic about riding that rocky section either.
So this is a really rocky section. Probably this is the hardest I think we're going to do the entire ride. It's the hardest section of this road. And I had forgotten about this section. And you can do it on an adventure bike. The great thing about these African Twins is they have a very low first gear. And so it'll motor right up this stuff, where other adventure bikes have a higher first gear, which makes it more difficult because you have to go faster in order to be able to do it. So I just rode Bob's bike with WGS up this. It was a lot harder than doing it on this bike. This bike is easy. Make it bad. I'm doing 10 miles an hour. Just motor right up. It's got that good first gear. On this adventure, I was doing 15, 18 miles an hour. Pretty fast on this stuff. I have average skill. Hi, Bob. If you're game, if you're a big adventure bike, you can get over this. But you gotta just stay on the gas and start climbing. Nothing else to do with that. It should be see the worst of it. As I recall, it gets easier from here.
As always, it's much steeper in real life than the camera portrays, so just trust me on that.
So as I'm thinking about it a little bit more, this Honda is a DCT, so it's the automatic. So part of the reason why it's easier to ride on this stuff might be because you can't stall it. I don't, it's slipping the clutch enough that's able to get over this stuff, where Bob's bike, you have to use a clutch. And the first gear is high. It might be a combination of those. I don't really know how low first gear is, but first gear seems a lot lower on this bike, but the DCT is probably helping, assisting quite a bit on the really slow, rocky sections. The road's getting easier. It's improving. We believe that we're going to go up here and end up at Cerro Grandes, community up here, where we'll be able to take a break. And then from there, we will take a road to the west, over there, over those mountains, out to the desert. And then once in the desert, we'll run that south on dirt until we catch pavement down by Ciudad del Maíz. And then from there, it's pavement the rest of the day down to Xilitla through Aquismon.
When we arrived in Gallos Grandes, we decided it's time for a much needed break and some refreshments.
¿Cuál es su nombre tienda?
Gallos Grandes.
Gallos Grandes. Okay, gracias. What's for lunch? Can of tuna and a really big cracker. And some chocolate chip cookies afterwards. We left Gallos Grandes, the Grand Rooster. We're headed west over the mountain, out to the plains below there. Then once we get down to the main highway, we'll make a left and go south. But the view up here is amazing. And here we are at about a little 4,100 feet or so in elevation. Pretty cool. Traveling west to Highway 101, heading out across the desert, getting real close. Not much to this road, it's kind of a straight dirt road.
We reached pavement on Highway 101, which we ran southwest down to the intersection of 101 at 80, grabbed 80 and ran that southeast down to Ciudad del Maíz, and then south from there to Alaquines and Rayon, where we turned off onto Highway 70. Overall, this section of pavement was just a lot of fun. Good ride.
Man, what an outstanding road. Ciudad del Maíz. We went through Ciudad del Maíz and now we're headed south to Rayon on this fabulously twisty road. Alright, we're in Alaquines, like on the edge here. Thought we'd stop at this restaurant, grab a bite to eat. Bob, how you feeling?
Great.
Tell me about the day so far.
Well, we did a road that we did on an event called the Rundown on our lighter bikes. But it was both lighter bikes and dry. This time, I was on a Barca Lounger and it was muddy and wet. So I'm glad to be sitting here without having crashed.
We ordered gorditas. They're making beef gorditas for us and chips. Gorditas. It's what's for lunch.
The restaurant owner encouraged us to veer off and go to Alaquines proper, which we did.
We got cobblestones here at the square in Alaquines. I am in Alaquines, and I just love these buildings right here. We've caught one of the locals, and his machismo says, "I shall not let you pass." I have you now. We're on Highway 70. We're running east to past Tamasopo, and from there we'll turn south and head toward Aquismon. This is the Zona de Rumbas rock falls, rock slides. We just entered the zone of trees that all of a sudden we're just in a forest. Very cool.
The city of Tamasopo has a great sign sitting on a hill outside the city, a la Hollywood. Kind of cool.
This is Highway 120. We're running west, 6 or 8 miles to Xilitla. This is one of the top 10 best motorcycle roads in Mexico.
In Xilitla, we grabbed a hotel and then set out to explore the city on foot.
Guys, this is like the Times Square of Xilitla, right here. What a cool place. That looks good. On photo? Wow. I think this is a museum.
Oh, he's a nice boy.
Oh, look at this big old chubby boy.
Oh, is it a girl or boy? Oh, that's amazing.
Wow, El Jefe. We discovered that we're all low on shampoo at the same time. So, here we are, getting hooked up. Man, that is...
And by the way, that looks like a mini Las Posas. See the concrete?
See how steep that is. Camera's level. Dulces El Patron. Whatever you need in terms of candy, this guy's got. Every plaza has a church. Sorry, this isn't so dark, but this is the old church. They built this and started building this in 1557 or so. So it's 500 years old, thereabouts. This is the mural next to the church. It's Pedro Rosa Acuna. I can't say the name of it, but Hotel Zia here, right off the square with parking. Might be a good place to stay on the motorcycle.
In review, we rode about 250 miles today. A couple hours of dirt right out of the gate. From Tula, you running south, you can see this is where the dirt road is. That's the Laguna that I forgot about, and there's the climb right there. Then into Gallos Grandes, over the mountains, out across the desert. That's where we caught Pavement. We're running southwest now on Highway 101 down to the intersection of Highway 80 through Ciudad del Maíz. That's where we had lunch, visited Alaquienes, and then down to Cardenas and Rayon. No, there's no way I was going that fast. Hey, I always obey the speed limits in Mexico. And then this is Highway 70. It's a tollway, and it's just great riding. It'll run you east across the mountains, past Tamasopo, out to Ciudad Valles, where we caught Highway 85. Run that south. And Highway 85 is just excellent. I didn't get a lot of pictures. There's lots of traffic, but it's really pretty, especially when you get down in this area right here. And right past that town, we bang a left on Highway 120, and a few miles up the road, we're at Xilitla for the evening. Great ride, great course.
We're here in Jalpan, at Mission Jalpan del Cerro. This is incredible. I'll be right there, Bob.